Hey, just going to make a video about this Fallout rule set. It's basically the Jason Mical's pen and paper second edition PDF you can probably find somewhere. So kind of what's in here, I do have this guy William. He is a human. He's got his character sheet up. Might as well navigate through some things. I've also got Ace here, who's a dog. So if you were to roll your own character, the steps for that would be kind of, once you pop up, go to this races panel, drag it in. That'll make it so it'll all start churning when you change stuff. Not to get too in detail about how these are decided, you basically need 40 points. To make it easier, I'm going to go ahead and go to my NPC generator and do a random score here. Might as well make this a human. There we go. And then I'll just enter them in. Now it's not obvious that you can edit these. You can't edit all of them. This is how you do the core stat checks. If you drag it into here. Yeah, just enter these in. And I've got 40 there. So like if I wanted to do a luck check, you can roll it in here. Success, barely. It's a low roll type of game if you haven't played it before. Let's call this guy Billy. There's no classes. If I go to skills, you can do 3 tags. As per the rules, you would just check your wanted tags. I'm gonna go ahead and make them level 2 though. So let's see, 2, and then he should have some skill points, which I think I'm gonna just put all into small guns, just to make it easier. The items should be kind of what you'd expect. They do have a type sort, so if I want like small guns, let's give them a, actually let's be fun with it here, let's give them an AK-47. If you go into it, you can see what kind of ammo it needs. The items do just kind of churn out everything in here. I don't hide any unused ones, but maybe I will in the future. So 7.62 millimeter. And if I go over here to ammunition and go to the 7.62 millimeter, throw that in, give myself maybe, let's say 80. Now to equip the rifle, change the carried to equipped. Then when you navigate to the actions, you'll see your action points, and then this is the equipped ranged weapon, which is currently not loaded. To do that, this searches your inventory for the right ammo. If you have it, you can select it. And I'm going to reload. And I think reloading is, yeah, there we go. It was 2 AP to do it. So while you're in combat, when you reload, that's the kind of thing. You can also empty the clip back, and then all of those go back into your inventory. Or say you picked up a gun and don't have ammo for it, or you want to take the ammo out, you can just use empty clip. But I am going to load it, and I'm going to reset this. Anytime you hit reset AP, it'll say it, just in case a player was doing that. It doesn't do that on NPCs though, but just keep it in mind. Let me show some of the uses here. Actually, these are additional stuff. Let me just run into that quick. So in Fallout, or in the pen and paper Fallout, second edition, they have some prerequisites on how to get these. Oops, sorry. Jab. Let's give them some of these. just to show how they work. Those populate in here if, oh, maybe my prerequisites are, oh, I think it doesn't listen for it. If you ever find that this isn't updating, which it'll take a little time for me to fix that completely, you can just hit reset AP and it tends to research. So here are the unarmed stuff. Also, inventory change. I think that is working. So if I like de-equip this, that doesn't show the range weapon, which should have sent a update to this, not to be too confusing. Anywho, so let me show actually fighting. So maybe I'll make an NPC here. These are like monsters, basically. If you want something that's not some kind of monster, you're gonna have to make him, which this generator will help with. Let's say we have a half brood orc, level 2. Let's give him some random stuff. This guy has an inventory now. He's got a bat, grenade. I'm not seeing. He's got drugs. I'm actually going to give him a weapon. So it looks like he does big guns, though he's not very good at it. Maybe a melee weapon. Actually, that's probably what he has there. Okay. What's he got in here? Grenade. Throwing has some extra rules to it. So I'm not going to actually throw the grenade, because I might have to explain a bit too much about how that is. But let me move to the combat tracker. So say we had our guy Billy, and say we had our NPC, and why don't we just put a giant ant or two in here. And I'm going to close out everything that isn't Billy here, just so we can kind of have some space. And I'm going to go to this battle. Which, by the way, this is a sample battle. If you want to do it, I got a little story here. But I'm just going to use the map from it. Let's say we have a dude there, there, and this guy. Oh, that's fun. What do we got here? CT next actor. Oh, okay. I know why I did that. So if I go through this, it'll work in progress. So when it gets to a character, it will reset their AP. So let's say I spent some here, and just say I got back to him, it cleared it out. And I do have some nifty things I can do with is that gonna bring him down? No, I think I gotta add an asset. Nifty things I can do with the combat tracker. So let me just put a random. There's our guy. So we got our crazy looking Billy guy. And NPCs will just set their sequence. PC sequence will set the sequence. And it's all based off of their stats, but I still have a button for it. You also notice you got weather and night. If it's not day, it'll actually affect every chance to hit. And depending on the weather, it'll also do the same. So I put that in. We have like medium clouds. You'll see this all changed. Their to hit rolls are much different. I'm gonna make it light clouds though, so make it easier. Yeah. So if I just go to the top of the round, say we have this guy. So he's got AP. Let me just open this up. So this looks just like when you click in on him and he went to his actions panel. There might be a little bit more. I kind of tried to shrink it a little, but it's just easier to do over here because then you can know, without popping them all up and having a billion windows. So let's say he moved over here, which was like 3. That would you have to manually get rid of the movement AP, but then say he actually he's just going to keep running because he just has a bat. So let's see here, 4 more. He's running up, and that would be that. I auto shrink it, kind of help you there. And it stores whether you had it open or not, and it's under the combat or the attacks drop down on here. So you can also do it for the PCs, but you don't get their actions, just a little bit, and maybe how much AP they have left. So here's where a couple things come into play. So this guy, Roland, who just moved, I'm going to say these are some barrels, and that would give him maybe, I don't know, 20 cover. Cover is not anywhere except for the combat tracker. So, and it's actually pretty important, but it changes on every turn for everybody. So it's just sort of make sure your players know before they just start throwing the dice on them. But okay, so this guy's got an assault rifle. It would cost him 5 AP to do 1 shot, or 6 AP to do a targeted shot. Targeted shots have higher crit chance, and if they do crit, then they will almost certainly disable part. So say arms, that'd be a harder to hit chance. If I went all the way to eyes to try to blind him, I would have basically an impossible roll there. This is not based off of any character. This is if you're hitting like a tin can. So once you actually roll, it's gonna be harder, even just single shots. So like if I leave that on arms or something, I also have the same amount of AP to do a burst shot. So I'm gonna just do a burst shot with him. So you click and drag it out. It's a D100 system for attacking. I'm gonna let go on the target, and it's gonna calculate. It's got the cover. It's got the distance, so it'll do the range calculations like so. Hey, ran into some slight issues. I'll just have to clip that in. And fire at Ronald. There we go. So he takes 42 damage. Yeah, that's an overpowered gun. But it pries through him. Let's say we didn't have that gun. Oh no, it didn't kill him. Okay, so it's 42. That probably might have actually. Nope. Okay, so I forgot to set their HPs to 0. This guy's actually now at 4. Is this guy though? Yeah, it should be 18. Same with that. I don't know why I'm changing them on their character sheets. You could also just type it into here. So I guess I'll show some of melee combat, even though this guy is near death. So, which is Giant Ant, which has how much AP? 6. So it's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's that. And this guy is the same. And I'm just going to go to him again. Let's see. Does he have any? No, no items, so I couldn't really show that. He also doesn't have a whole lot of AP to run up to him, so I'll run over here. 2, 3, and then use his slugger on Giant Ant 2. Let's say he targeted the arm or legs. Yeah, it's decent. Then swing, and he missed. That's one thing that was annoying to do on the table is the condition actually lowers on the item when you miss. And repairing is, I think it's 2 points in a skill check every 2 in-game hours. So that's a thing. So I was also going to show some of these up here. So this guy's out of actions, which I could have just been doing right here. So if I got to Billy, let's say he wants to move up to these barrels, because right now he doesn't have much cover for anyone, even though they're just giant ants. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Would put him at, so he's got like 5 remaining, or yeah, 5 remaining. And let's say he wants to defend. So what defending does is it takes your remaining AP and it adds it to your AC. So this defense AP plus 5 turns his base to now equal the total of 13. So that's done automatically, and that's another reason why it changes the AP every time it goes to your turn in the combat tracker. So you can do that little thing when you press the button. So defending it can't be done before something else. So like you defend and then it's the end of your turn. So I'll just kind of continue with that. I've got an ant here. It is in range of mandibles. Oh wait, actually 1, 2. Kind of tag teaming onto this dude. So 1, 2, and then I'll do a regular with a miss. And then he'll defend because he's got 1 left. And go on to this guy. I think you can do like 2 swipes. So 1 miss and a hit. There we go. So it automatically put the 5 into his health. It even says he's dead. Though it does say he's got a type of poison. If, let's say, he had some health left, if you wanted to do a poison, you would go into, I put it into traits and effects. So in addition to the traits that you could put on your character, you can also just put on a poison. And then you kind of read what it does, just so you know you have it. Most commons have poison, 1 HP of damage per hour. and then you could just sort of role play that. It's also kind of nifty to have some of these, so as your radiation increases, you may have some resistances, but then you can get more info about it if it's on there. Dude. I mean, or you could do this kind of thing. Type it in there. But this is kind of the stock version of it, so. Not poisoned. Anyway. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, vehicles could kind of show. Let's say you had a vehicle. Let's put a bus in there. So if that doesn't update right away, just click in on it. Vehicles can have mounted weaponry, like if it's a tank or something. And if that's the case, you gotta end up putting a character in it. And that allows them to see it in their action list if you have a gun in the mounted gear. Otherwise, the passengers list isn't exactly used. So if you open up the combat area, you can kind of see the extra systems of the vehicle, which each have their own AP, or not AP, HP. And you also have a quick little spot to change the speed of the vehicle. Also, they're supposed to be at the bottom of the track because the vehicles in this game go at the end of each round. So let's say their pilot was up here and they rolled a really bad pilot check like that, and they crashed the vehicle. This pilot check would be done at the end of a round. So then at that point, everybody would have to roll depending on the current speed when it crashed and do their damages based off of that. Yeah, there's also free to target in this game, so like the tires, you could say, I'm going to aim at the tires on the side facing me or something like that and tear it up. The big thing that isn't working just yet is if you had a encounter here, you can't really put vehicles in it just yet. I'll just work in that at some point. But these should work. This is from the sample encounter. I think it'll. They're like over here. Yep. Okay, there they go. So they're in there, and I must have forgot to name them. These are coyotes, I think, and then these are big mice. Anywho, yeah, lots of nice features, mostly in the items. Enjoy.